Do you ever have days where you have so much to do, you just don't know where to start? Well, today is one of those days. So let me show you what all needs to be done. The problem is that quite a bit of it I don't actually know how to do, and some of it I don't think watching YouTube videos is going to help. And if you wanting an I do it off-grid t-shirt, the link to the merch is in the description below. Frankie's here bright and early this morning. He's going to be digging a French drain and moving sand and gravel and all kinds of fun things. And he's smiling today, look! Just moving all the lumber offcuts up the way. Granite almost straight away. I don't know. To do a drain here I don't think it's going to work. The granite is right here. Attack the road. Leveling the road. That's the next job. So this morning Frank has compacted the spare bedroom area a little bit. He's put a little bit of the gravel that I had left in here for me to straighten. And he scraped as much as he can over here. Man, it's solid granite. And to dig a French drain here is not going to be easy. But he has put some big granite stones over here for me, that I will at least have like a granite stone foundation to build on. A bit over there. And he's cleared this area over here, and you can see he's made like a channel that's going to go out like my veranda area there. But I'm going to have to build some kind of retaining wall over here, and I don't know if I put down, seeing that I can't dig down for a French drain and this area is higher than this part, the water is going to obviously come down. If I put down gravel and then put like a garden bed, so if I do a retaining wall, put down gravel and then sand on top of the, I don't know. If anybody can advise what to do, if there are landscapers out there, it would be nice to turn this into some kind of little flower garden over here. But I am aware that we're going to have to definitely do a retaining wall because it does go uphill from here. This is at the bottom of the hill. So advice on that would be appreciated. So we've just cleared this area that goes in here so that if the water does come in here in the meantime, before we've done the retaining wall, it can at least have an outlet to go somewhere. Oh my goodness, so many things, so much to do, it's unbelievable. But we've made a start with some stuff. So this is, yeah, rocks are in here now that I will then point, and I can start adding smaller rocks and that on the top of this, and have an opening over there that I'll be able to still wheel the wheelbarrow full of gravel. I'm gonna have to get some more, order in more gravel to come here and to come over here and get all of this sorted. Honestly, there's like so much to do, I don't know where to start. But anyway, this is where we started with like the digging part. So now we're ready to start doing different things. But retaining walls, I'm gonna have to do a little bit of research in how to build that. If I walk up the road, these pigs run along the fence following me all the time. You've had food and you've had an acorn party today. Goodness gracious, piggies. Yes. You follow me everywhere. Giant mushroom. If I put my hand next to it, you can see how big it is. Frank is gonna also just sort of make a bit of road that comes through here because it comes up to those beautiful oak trees. So we'll have a road from my access road that'll come up here. So if anybody's wanting to come and camp with a camper van, they'll be able to access this beautiful area under these magnificent oak trees. Right, now I have an access road to the camping area. So there's the Mushroom Rock and all these massive oak trees around here. It's beautiful, absolutely stunning. Look at them. So from just 2.5 trees, Evelyn got 100 kilos of olives, and she's taken it already to Sobral de Campo, and she has got 8 liters of olive oil for 100 kilos. She said she still had quite a bit of green from olives from the one that she picked by herself. So I've just come down to my olive grove to have a look, and yeah, I don't have very much left in the way of green olives. Mine are mostly black, or in this tree anyway. Let me have a look at the others. Yeah, definitely mostly black. So I think my plan to harvest on Monday will be good. You see there's a lot of olives falling on the ground already. But yeah, all looking good, very high. I think I'm going to have to get one of those telescopic poles. But they're absolutely laden, which is really good. These are the big eating olives, slowly starting to change color, but they're still green. But you know what? You prepare them when they're green. So basically, these ones are not going to go to for olive oil. This tree is going to be only for eating. It's going to be a hell of a lot of olives for eating. Oh my goodness. Yeah, lots of olives. In this one, I'm going to have to definitely go. I need to go and get the net, buy the nets and the telescopic comb. Look at the bark of this old olive tree. Another animal hole over here. Not too sure what's living in these holes. Look at these interesting mushrooms. There's more. I really need to do some kind of a mushroom course to see which ones are edible and which ones are not. So over here now I need to get in more gravel. Brita is what they call it here in Portugal. So I've got to get in a lot more gravel. So once I get the gravel in, then I will be putting the gravel into my kitchen, which is in the shadow and you can't really see. And also the spare room, I will be doing some gravel there as well. I'm not going to be doing a deck in that room anymore because I don't need to do a deck now because Frank has leveled that. But what I do need to do is have, before I put the gravel in, I'm going to have to put a pipe that's going to go from where my sink will be, my grey water, that'll have to be going under this floor to get into the trench. So that Frank dug, so that's got to happen. All these stones over here that have come out the ground, this I will be using to just build up the walls a little bit over here. This wall, I'm going to put windows in over there, so that will happen, but I'm going to build that up so that I've got like at least a stone foundation before I start with the cordwood and the bottles. So this is the spare room area. Obviously these walls will have to be pointed and stones put in to make it a little bit stronger. I'm planning on having a window over here that's going to look out into this area that will become an orchard in the middle part. As you can see, the soil's very good. So here's the trench that goes to the grey water pit over there, and I'm going to have to put in the grey water pipe, so it's going to have to come here, it's going to have to go along the floor, so through this kitchen wall, down under the floor I suppose, and then out here to join into that trench. The other trench that comes from over there, this is the trench for the grey water from the bathroom, and there's another trench that goes from the bathroom to the area that I will be making like a little vermi composting area. So I'm going to have a flush toilet that will go to the worms, and then this area here I will be planting fruit trees. So that's the plan for this. Of course, I've never put down pipes or done plumbing in my life, so I have no idea how to do this. And this where I've got to get down into that pit over there and brick and cement the walls. I've never done that before either, and I don't know how I'm going to get down into that pit, and if I get down, how I'm going to get out. I suppose one uses a ladder, so I take that back, but I haven't done that before, haven't laid sewage pipes, so yeah, going to be interesting times. That I think I might be able to learn from YouTube videos, but I don't know. Part of the kitchen, I haven't we haven't put a brick here because this is the part where I will be coming in with the wheelbarrow for more gravel, and also I want to have a doorway that's going to open from here into the spare bedroom. So yeah, you'll be able to come from the spare bedroom and straight into the kitchen. So then this floor I've got to do the gravel, and I've got to level it, I've got to make it, so I've got to get more gravel there, but it's got to come level with this step over here, so that when I have the gravel and then these little bricks, paving blocks, bricks, that's going to go. So I'm going to do what Nick showed me with the sand and the cement. I'm going to use the same principle for laying the paving stones, but I've got to bring up the floor level first. Right, and out here what I've got to do is I've got to remove the bits of expanding foam that's sticking out over there, and I've got to put on those end bits onto the sandwich panel like Luke did in Luke and Sarah's Off-Grid Life, and then I've got to put the guttering on. And so after I've put the guttering on, I've got to set up some kind of rainwater harvesting system. So over here, this is where I'm going to have to build a restraining wall, a little restraining wall of some kind. So I'm not too sure how to do this, but this, I think YouTube tutorial videos might help. Of course, eventually this is all going to have to get paved as well, and a covered veranda built over here, and a barbecue area over there. So I have to finish with my bottle wall. I've got to continue with that. I have to point all these rocks and fill in the gaps, and I'm going to have to put in the pipe over here. Like this area is going to be where my toilet is going to be. The flies are out in full force, so I'm walking around like with a fly swatter. I feel like an Egyptian, walking with an ancient Egyptian. You know, they used to have like their palm fronds that they used to wave. I'm waving fly swatters. Yeah, so this whole area here, this is where the pipe's going to go from the toilet, the waste. That's going to go out there somewhere. The shower will come over here. The wash basin will come over there. And waste from that will be the grey water that will then join onto go into that grey water trench. I've never done any of this before, have not a clue, but I don't know. Maybe I can learn from YouTube. Who knows? But yeah, so this wall over here, I've got to remove all this ugly cement and point it. In fact, that's got to happen around the whole outside of the house. Remove the ugly cement pointing that's in there and repoint it with lime water. So the pointing is going to be a big job, and it's going to take quite a bit of time. So once I've got the plumbing in, I then have to build a deck to cover this, put the shower and wash basin, fit that in, and then I've got to have a roof. I'm going to use the clear sheets so that the light comes in. So I've got to put a roof over this structure. I have to buy electric conduit pipe or something or other to put all the wiring in. The solar panels, these are 4 320 watt solar panels, and they are arranged in parallel, and then the parallels in series. They are still resting on beer crates, so they need to have a frame built for them. So that's something else that has to be done. Get another look of the trenches over here. I've got the electric box up for the inverter, but I need to build like a special box for the batteries as well. And you can see the wire lying over here needs to get like conduit that it fits into. Lots of potential animal holes in the bathroom wall. That's going to have to be filled in with stones and things. So all these rocks that came out of the floor, from the floor when we put the floor into the cottage, I'm not too sure. They're going to have to all be moved. I was thinking it might be nice to put them around the edge of the veranda area, which all looks crazy still. Something's still got to happen. So this door is going to have to eventually get changed, because all kinds of little creatures can climb under this door. So inside, what needs to be done? There's just a little bit more pointing that needs to be done at the very top over there. I've got to sort of like do something with this wire that's hanging around. That's the wire that's going to the plug for my fridge. This fuse box, I think this needs to be prettied up somehow or other, because there's just, yeah, there's other electric power boxes like switches and plug points that have still got to be installed. So far there's no lights. Those are just like solar lights that are there at the moment. So I need to get electric lights, and somehow or other that also gets attached to the fuse box. Don't know how that works. I don't think YouTube videos are going to help me working with electricity. And then, yeah, so the pointing has to be finished, just that little section there, and then just the very top up there. That part has been done. And then there's just that little bit of the wall, that little section there that's got to get done, and that expanding foam cut out. Then of course the floor has to be obviously cleaned thoroughly and grouted. And then once that is all done and I can move other stuff out and arrange the furniture. Oh, that's something else that's got to get done here. these big stones that we couldn't move, and I said I'll turn into like a bench. I need to do that, so that needs to get pointed as well, these big stones. That needs to be tidied up because it looks a bit messy. So once I've done all those things inside the cottage, then I'll be able to move in. So I have to finish that last little bit of pointing, get the floor cleaned. I'm going to have to buy one of those industrial vacuum cleaners, I think, and get the grouting done and get the electrics finished with plug points and lights and light switches, and then I'll be able to move my furniture in, move some of the other stuff that's still here from the building, move that out and make this a home. So I've got to just do those little things first. The pointing part I can do. The electrics I can't. I have put feelers out in the local community and no luck at the moment. So I don't know, and I can't move in here until I've got power. I also need to make like a fly screen door as well for this, so one can have the door open without things flying inside. I also need to find a way to put up this mosaic that I made for the farm sign back in Norway already. I've still got to put this up. I've also got to make a workshop where I can set up all my tools and all my buildings. Some of it I can keep in the tool shed, but I'd like the shed to be used for like gardening tools and animal feed. That's what I'd like the shed to be used for. So I need to build like another workshop area so that this doesn't have to stay in the kitchen. You can see I've got all the firewood. This is the firewood for this year that has been stacked here in the kitchen as well. So over here I need to build a bigger pig house and remove part of the fencing to extend it out to make a much bigger pig pen, and put electric fencing up for that as well. So that's the plan for this area. And then somewhere I also want to build a chicken coop for chickens. Not too close to the house because chickens do attract flies. As I was saying yesterday as well, I will need to trim this back to make a good path that goes through to what will be the other orchard area. And this bramble that is all out of control here needs to be seriously cut back. And then of course I want to make raised garden beds, so I've got to build those and try and do something with that greenhouse that's all mangled. And the other thing I'd like to do is I'd like to make like little wooden benches to put around the farm as well, in the different zones that the farm is divided up into. And let's not forget, I also have to harvest the olives and continuing the acorn harvesting for the pigs. So that's just the stuff on the farm. Then I've got to start the matriculation process for the car. I've got to get those blood tests done. They gave me the papers for last week. I still haven't had a chance to go and get that done. I've got to do the medical for the driver's license exchange. And on top of this, from Friday, I am working constantly every day and some nights until the 18th of November, so with only one day free, which is the day that I'm going to harvest the olives. So how to get things done while I'm working full time, I don't know. So help is always welcome if you want to volunteer. At Bella Pedra, we do welcome volunteers. As I say, I've tried to see if I could get locals who are prepared to work, and but everybody says that they've got too much work already, or they no longer work. So the area I'm in, it's not very easy to just say, okay, I'm going to get a plumber in or an electrician in or a handyman in. They don't exist over here. So I know a lot of people keep saying in the comments, why don't you just hire some locals? Like, why don't you just hire some locals to help you pick the olives? Or why don't you get your neighbors to come and pick the olives? Well, the problem is that neighbors that I have are absent neighbors, and they're not even picking their own olives. And the people in town are all quite elderly, and I think they get their family comes from elsewhere in Portugal and spend a couple of days just harvesting their olives for them, and then they go back again. So it's not that easy. It's not like you can just go to the corner store and put up a sign and saying, you know, help wanted. It doesn't work like that over here. I'm not complaining about what I have to do, don't get me wrong. I'm just letting you know all the things that have to be done, and that it's a slow process, because some of it I have to learn how to do and then have to try and do it by myself. So just so you understand, it's not like I'm going to click my fingers and the plumbing is going to be done. And while I'm working basically full-time at the moment, it's not going to go as fast either. So but you know, I set this up for myself as like a 5-year project. So I think I've done a lot of stuff quite quickly, and I'm just going to keep battling away and keep picking at it until it's done. So where I'm struggling at the moment is knowing what to prioritize, because there is so much to be done and so much I want to do, and I wish I could just click my fingers and it's done. But yeah, knowing what to prioritize. I mean, I need a kitchen, I need the bathroom, and I need the electric plug points and the lights. I don't know. I need that plumbing. I don't know. Everything is important. I can't decide what is more important. So, I don't know. Removing the poisonous weed this morning. Here we go. Look how beautiful this sunset looks. You know you're in Portugal when you put your hand in your pocket and you come up with an olive. This, oh God, look who has come in between houses. What has happened to you?
I should have filmed it. I'm just not a proper YouTuber. I got stopped by the police. I know.
How exciting.
But, oh, I tell you, they're not interested in the fact that I haven't changed my licence, because I was worried because I haven't changed my licence yet. But all they was interested in is that the poor car is an illegal immigrant. That it's a good job I asked for. I said I want some kind of proof from immigration that they're doing this process, because I've had my paperwork for months. So I got like a document, the document with big watermarks over it, and it saved the day. I'm so glad I made a fuss about that. So yeah.
Oh, that was exciting. Well, it's good to see you here for a couple of days to finish with your shed.
Oh, yeah. Couple of days, one day.
Okay, one day. One day.
Good morning. That was lovely in here last night. Yeah, it was. I couldn't get the log burner going. It was too late, I think, and I couldn't get that going. So I didn't have that on. But it's warmer in here than what it is in the apartment, so it's fine. Got a bit chilly in the early hours of the morning, but then as long as I kept every part of me, apart from my head, under my quilt, which I love so much and I'm so glad I brought, it was fine. I love my quilt, saved the day. It's really lovely, but I need a shovel now. You know what I mean?
So my workshop for the day is finished, and so I am here now helping Louise, who is not frustrated from trying to put up a shed, put up her shed.
Oh, it's so nice to have an extra pair of hands. Screw, please.
There's an icy wind blowing today. So I finished my workshop after lunch, and I don't think the wind is good to start harvesting olives, and plus I was helping Louise with her shed. So the weather has definitely, it's unbelievable. Like from those few days of rain, it's become quite cold, and the apartment I'm staying in is absolutely freezing. It's freezing during the day, and at night it is so cold, it's unbearable, really. It doesn't matter. I've got a blanket, I've got a duvet, and I'm sleeping with about 4 layers of clothes on, and it's still icy cold. And also it's very damp. That apartment did leak along the one wall during the rain, and it you know, whenever you lie, put your head down on the pillow feels wet, the sheet feels wet, even sheets of paper feel wet, so it's damp and it's very cold. Louise spent the night in the cottage, and she said even though she didn't light the wood burner, it was so nice and warm, so she had a good night's sleep while I was freezing in the apartment. So I think the time has come for me to make the move into the apartment. I mean, not from the apartment to the cottage. So if I'm seeing that I'm camping in the apartment, I may as well be camping in the cottage. So from a very chilly day here in Portugal, even though we've got blue skies, keep safe, keep sane, and I'll see you on the next video.